A very good morning, children. Hope you understood yesterday's class. Okay, so today we are going to look into another topic. So, children, if you see the mixture of gases which are present in the air, it's around 78% of the mixture of the gases in the air is nitrogen. 21% you can see it is oxygen. So, the large amount of gas which is present in the air is the nitrogen. So that is around 78%. It's not a small thing. Okay, and now when we respire, we only take oxygen. I mean, you only give out the carbon dioxide, but we don't use any kind of nitrogen, isn't it? Directly we cannot use any nitrogen. Okay, so even the plants also, they cannot directly use the nitrogen directly which is present in the air. So they need help of something else so that they can utilize the nitrogen. So there are different microorganisms like Rhizobium, nostoc, Anabena, Azotobacter. Okay, all what they will do is this kind of microorganisms, they will fix the nitrogen and convert them in such a way that plants can utilize them. So plants are able to utilize these all minerals, or especially the nitrogen, only because of these microorganisms. So these microorganisms, they absorb the nitrogen which is present in the atmosphere, and then they will convert them into the chemicals which the plants can easily absorb, so that plants will get the required amount of nitrogen. Okay, and what the nitrogen they want, they will take it from the soil. So the soil becomes rich in nitrogen. It's only because of the microorganisms. Basically, plants cannot utilize the nitrogen directly from the atmosphere. Neither we, nor any other animals also. So we'll do an activity here. What we'll try to do is we'll try to collect some root nodules. Okay, we'll try to collect some root nodules. Okay, now these are the roots. Okay, so on the roots there are some nodule like structures like this. Okay, and these are called as the bulged structures here are called as the nodules. They are called as the nodules. And what we will do is we'll collect the plants, like if you take the grounded plants, the beans or the pea gram, okay, those kind of plants, you just collect the roots of those plants and crush them into powder, and then add some water to that and observe under the microscope, and what are the structures you find under that, you just try to draw it on the paper. So these are the root nodules where lot of microorganisms are present. Okay, now let's take example of one of these kind of microorganisms, especially the plants which belong to the Leguminosae family. All the pea gram or the beans or the nuts and all, they belong to a family called as Leguminosae family, and the plants which belong to them will have the roots, and the roots will have the nodules on them, where a bacteria which is called as the Rhizobium bacteria or the Azotobacter, or you can say nitrogen fixing bacteria are present in them, which will help the plant to get the nitrogen. Okay, so see here, children, now this is the root I have taken here, and here there are the nodules, and these nodules, what are they? These are the Rhizobium bacteria. These are all the Rhizobium bacteria which are present in the nodules. What is their job is they will take the nitrogen from the atmosphere. They will take the nitrogen from the atmosphere, and they will convert that nitrogen into nitrites. So these nitrites are the salts, isn't it? So once they are converted into nitrites, and they are stored in the roots itself. So the plant, when it is taking the nutrients and all, it also will take the nutrients, and they will also use these nitrites. So these nitrites are especially important for the plant in their growth. Okay, so now these nitrates the plants are getting not directly from the atmosphere, but they are directly getting that in the form of nitrates, which are converted by Rhizobium bacteria which are living in the root nodules. Now these root nodules also will get the very good amount of food from the plant. Plant will take the food and gives nitrogen. So both are having a very good mutual relation here. So this kind of relationship where both the organisms are benefited here. The plants are benefited because they are getting the required amount of nitrogen. The animal, the bacteria which are living in them are also getting the nitrogen. Sorry, they are getting the food. So both of them are getting benefited. This kind of relationship is called as the symbiosis. Or the relationship is called as symbiosis. So basically we call it as the symbiosis, and the relationship is symbiotic relationship where both the organisms are benefited. Let me give you one more example like this, right? So basically when you go to the seashores and all, there'll be crocodiles, isn't it? And especially to the pond areas or the lakes and all, so like rivers, the crocodiles are usually present in them, and they always keep their mouth open and they keep on moving in the water. So what are the fishes which are there? They go inside, but at the same time there are some leeches which gets attached to the gums and they'll be sucking the blood and will cause a great pain to the crocodiles. So what the crocodiles will do is they'll come to the bank of the rivers and all. They'll keep their mouth open like this. They'll keep their mouth open like this, and they will stay like that. The cranes which are over there, they come there. They will prick all the leeches and they will eat them. So here again two organisms are getting benefited. Cranes are getting their food, first one. Second one is the crocodiles are getting relief from the pain. So this is also an example for this symbiotic relationship. So this process where the both organisms are benefited is called as the symbiosis. Parasitism is again different. In parasitism we say that one organism, the guest, like the parasite or the some other microorganism comes in the body of a human being, stays inside, eats the food and also harms us. So here only one organism is benefited and the other one is harmed, and this condition is called as parasitism. So this is a difference between the parasitism and the symbiosis. So this process called as symbiosis is actually helping in the fertility of the soil, to improve the fertility of the soil. So farmers know that these leguminous plants are very useful in getting the nitrogen. So what they do is they plant all these leguminous plants in the crops here and there at the borders, at the surrounding as a border. So that is how they make their soil rich. Okay, so that is how the farmers also getting benefited from this kind of plants and all. Okay, so the microorganisms such as fungi or the bacteria and all, they will degrade the soil, and they will degrade all the organic matter which is present in the soil and make it useful for the plant to absorb. So these microorganisms in turn are helping the soil, the plants to get the required amount of nutrients. So that one of them is the rhizobium, as we have seen now. This rhizobium is also called as the nitrogen fixing bacteria. Okay, this is actually called as Rhizobium leguminosarum. Rhizobium leguminosarum, because it belongs to the Leguminaceae family, we call it as Rhizobium leguminosarum. It is fixing the nitrogen and converting into nitrate so that plants can absorb them, and then plants will utilize them for their growth. So here there is a bacteria which by name Bacillus thuringiensis. This bacteria is used as a biopesticide because this bacteria can kill this bacteria can kill the pests or the insects which usually are harmful to the crops, and also this can be used as the biopesticide. That means this is actually extracted from the bacteria and that is being used on the crops, and also this bacteria or this Bacillus thuringiensis, this will kill the pests or the insects which are harmful to the plants and all, but they will not harm the plant. Okay, that is how we can reduce the use of pesticides or the insecticides which you are using to kill the pests and insects which are harmful to the crop, and you can use this method, which is very useful and also harmless to the farmer. So we all know what is compost pit. Okay, so we'll try to do a small activity basing on the compost pit. So what you need to do is you need to take two pots, okay, and you fill these two pots with half a pot of the soil and all, and then if you just go into your garden and dig two pits where you can put this pot inside, okay, and in one pot what you do is you take all the uh, vegetable peels, okay, the things which are left over, maybe rice or maybe leaves and all. So what are the things which are found in your kitchen and all, like which we use and which we eat and all, you just put them into that particular pot and cover it, okay. And then in the next pot, what you do is you take some bottles, plastic covers, and what plastic like the milk packets, okay, and all the plastic covers which you use in your house, and also the plastic bottles, okay, remains of plastic and all, you just put them in the other pot and put some soil on that and cover it, and you put these two in the pits which you have already dug and cover it with the soil, and every day you keep on sprinkling some water. You just sprinkle some water over those two. Maybe after 2 or 3 or 4 weeks, 3 to 4 weeks, you just remove the pots outside, and what you see is the first pot where you kept the vegetable peels and all those things and all, they will start decomposing, they will start degrading, okay. But whereas the other one, the plastic and all, you just kept the plastic covers and everything, so it will remain the same, no change will be seen. But whereas here the vegetable peels and all, they will be converted back to the soil by the bacteria which are, or the microorganisms which are present in the soil. So they'll be converted back to the soil, and if you keep it like that for 2 or 3 months, you will not see any more vegetable peels, and only what you can find is the soil. It is the best manure. Now this is the same method which is being done by the farmers dig very big pits and all. They'll put all the wastage of leaves and whatnot, branches, everything into that, and they'll cover it with the soil, and they'll put some coconut leaves on that, and they will add some water to that, and after 2 or 3 months when they dug it, they will only find the soil which is very rich in all the nutrients, and they will put this soil as a manure to the plants. So that is how we can make a small compost pit in our house itself. So if you go to the market and all, if you go to nursery, a small packet of half kg, the cost of that, it's even up to 30 to 70 rupees. So that you can easily prepare at our home, and we can use it in our kitchen gardens. So these compost pits are very useful in making the manure, okay, manure naturally. So you do not buy the artificial manure from outside. So this is the best method where you can say that microorganisms are really making the soil fertile. They are converting the nutrients in the soil so that in such a way that the plants can utilize them again, and they can they'll be helpful in the growth of the plant. So that is how we come to the end of the useful microorganisms. And now we will go to the next part, which is the harmful microorganisms. So till now what we have seen is the useful microorganisms, and now what we are going to see is the harmful microorganisms. Do you think microorganisms are really harmful to us? Till now we have seen that they are really useful to us. They are converting the curd, buttermilk into curd. They are converting the dough, okay. They are helping in making the idlis, dosas and whatnot. We have seen that they are helping in the fertility of the soil. They are helping in the conversion of nitrogen into nitrate so that plants can absorb them. They are living in the root nodules of the plants. They are helping them. So in all these ways, and now also we have seen that they are very helpful in preparing the vaccinations. They are useful to us in making the vaccines. We have also seen that penicillin, that is a Penicillium notatum, the fungus, is helpful in curing several diseases. That is the first antibiotic which has been introduced in the medicinal field. So when we were small and all, whenever we get fever or something, we used to get 5 penicillin injections. So that is how penicillin was there, and there was, for any wounds and all, they used to put some penicillin powder, which is in the powdery form. So that is how penicillin was used everywhere. So after that, several medicines were invented, some all by different scientists, and also they are now utilizing them. So in all these ways we can say that these microorganisms are really helpful to us. And also we have said that these microorganisms live in our intestines, and they synthesize a vitamin for us, which is not readily present in the diet which we eat. There, any diet which you take, there is no such vitamin. So only our bacteria which are present in our intestines will synthesize that bacteria, which is called as the cyanocobalamin. So that is how these all uh, bacteria are useful to us. But now there are some microorganisms there which are really very harmful to us. So that is what we are going to see in our next topic. Until then, see you all. Have a great day. Take care. Bye.